I think Stormy or Talor works.
That's where you can find Stormy. Playing the part of Commander Anderson, First Officer of the U.S.S. Pendragon, is Nakara. Nakara, who are you? Where can we find you? What do you know? Let's find out.
My name's Nakara. I know Star Trek things sometimes. Where can you find me? You can find me on Discord, in the Relay Discord, or just in general if you just fire at my name. You can find me on Twitter at Nakara, and yeah, that's me.
Playing the part of the android helmsman, Ensign Protu, is Nitro Typat. Nitro, who are you? What do you know? Let's find out.
Bro, I don't even know. I am tired today. Click the link, you'll find out.
That sounds like all of us, though.
I have no idea what to put in for CS. Do I put CS? Canadian syrup? Kind?
See. Yes, the last one works as well.
Oh, cool. Playing the part of the Chief Medical Officer, last but not least, is Canadian Syrup. Who are you? Where do you come from? What do you know? Let's find out.
Biggest fibber in the world.
My name is Canadian Syrup. If you want to know what I know, well, I know quite a bit, but if you want to know what I do in my spare time, I like to set up fights with cobra chickens and beavers in the wild.
They're really fun to watch. He live streams them.
Mm-hmm.
Or Kitten Academy.
Which one won?
He watches Kitten Academy.
The moose did.
The moose crashed the fight with the cobra chicken and the beaver?
Yes. And it stepped on all of them.
I can't help but feel this is suddenly the most Canadian stream that we have ever had.
I'm sure the moose just sat on the cobra chicken and then kicked the beaver.
I mean,
What's
I've
a
got no
cobra
problem
chicken?
with it. I have just got no fucking idea what the hell they're talking about.
Cobra
Is it
chicken
like a,
is a
is
Canadian
it like a chicken
geese.
with a hood? Oh.
Now it all makes sense.
They're evil.
Yep. They're Canadian geese, but they're also cobra chicken.
So moving away from these Hoosers, which is more Scottish than
Hoosers,
anything, I think. Captain Talor awakens in her alcove as the familiar and yet strangely comforting voice fills her skull.
Third of 5. Proceed to grid 6, Beta 66. Remodulate subspace field.
As Talor navigates her way through the cube, perfectly on instinct, to the designated area, the sounds of small explosions coming from phaser and photon torpedo fire echo through the monolithic construct. Talor comes to a halt at the junction and approaches the console.
Said, so I'm at grid 6, beta 6, and I have to remodulate the subspace field.
Yes. When you say it like that, it just sounds silly.
I was just seeming to think that I heard you right. Okay, so what's in front of me? Sorry,
Weird Borg machinery with a strange, eerie green light.
AKA Borg machinery.
Is it something that I have to hook up to, or I can tactilely manipulate?
Yes.
Both. Okay. So I can't say anything. That sounds super dirty here. I connect my Borg implants.
Do control and engineering for me, please.
Am I doing it? Okay. That's my sheet, right?
Yes.
Okay. Control, engineering, and Complication range?
1. Task roll 2.
Yep.
Nice.
The subspace field is adapted, rendering the fleet of starships at Wolf 359 impotent. Another voice cracks through to Law's skull.
Intruders detected in grid 17, Alpha 01. Prepare for transport and interception.
And a strange green energy field suddenly surrounds Captain Talon. So this is where we get a little bit weird. This is where you use your new sheet, Captain Talor.
Right.
Ensign Pro 2, Lieutenant Kine, and Commander Anderson. You'll be playing generic security officer and command officer. Please tell me. I mean, I assume Anderson, you would like the command officer.
Ensign?
Oh,
I think you
sorry.
said. Did you say Anderson or Ensign?
Anderson, sorry.
Oh, sorry. I heard Ensign. My bad. Ears not working. Yeah, sure. I'll take the command officer.
Okay.
I'll take security officer 1.
Security officer 1. What else I need to do is... And so security officer 2 goes to Lieutenant Kind. You should now have access to their character sheets.
Mm-hmm.
And all the funky things that go with them. Your objective is kill Borg. Rescue Captain Talor.
Sorry, say again. So their objective is to kill Borg?
Kill Borg, rescue you. Your objective is to kill them.
Oh.
I'll wait to see how this is going to go.
Poorly, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Well, I am Borg.
Starfleet, you may go first.
All right. Oh, that is not working. Apologies.
Starfleet's finest.
Generally, yes.
No one said the away team was the brightest.
All right.
Should have gone to the ready room.
So, how far can I move here?
You'll be able to get to about there and still have an action left.
All right. Going
Lieutenant
to.
Kind. Oh, sorry. Yeah,
So I still have an action left, right?
you do.
Okay. I'm gonna fire. Actually, that's an interesting.
You
question.
do have
Should I?
phaser rifles, I should say.
Okay.
Starfleet ain't stupid.
Yeah, I'm gonna fire phaser rifle blast at 4th of 5, being very careful not to hit Captain Talor.
Okay. Do phaser rifle for me, please.
Right. Just a moment. why am I not? Let's see. There we go. Phaser rifle.
That hits. The energy blast leaves the phaser rifle, impacting upon the drone's exoskeleton, managing to do some superficial damage to him. The Borg have adapted. You can no longer fire that phaser rifle until you remodulate it, which is going to be your entire turn. Or will take an entire turn. Who's next?
I think.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Lieutenant Kind.
Quick question.
Yes,
So
mate.
he has to remodulate. Does that mean that the frequency of all of our weapons are the same currently? So therefore, I need to remodulate before I could even fire a shot.
No.
Oh,
They're not. I'm being generous here. Technically, that you should be doing that, but let's not make this too difficult for you.
For sake of expediency.
Something like that.
I will move up as well to command officer, and I will fire a shot at the same target he did.
Okay, do phaser rifle for me, please. That's not bad. That's not bad. And I just need. Which one did you get?
Number 1. Security officer 1.
I have no idea
I
why
was
you
able
can't
to
click
open
that.
the character. Yeah, I was able to open the character sheet, but I can't click on him. Oh, never mind. I know why I can't click on him. I'm an idiot.
Same mistake I made?
You did a dump.
I was in the painting tool.
Yeah, same thing I did.
Sorry about that.
What'd you get for drawing pickles?
And that was
No, that was me.
That wasn't a pickle. We all know that.
The energy discharge leaves the rifle, impacting upon the drone's skeleton, doing hefty damage.
Ooh.
That's the wrong button.
I like the sound of that if that's real.
The Borg have not adapted to you.
Ooh.
Ooh.
4.
Ensign Pro 2. Playing Generico Security Officer 1.
How far can I move? Because they're kind of in the hallway, right?
Oh yeah, we're in the way, aren't we?
I mean, there's enough. Yeah, there'll be enough room to wiggle around. They would,
We can scooch. You should scooch.
yeah, they
There
could pin
you go.
themselves up against the
Oh,
wall and that sort of thing. So,
hi there, friends.
I feel like
now
none of
just,
you are as wide as the hallway.
Oh, hang on. This is not good.
Here, I'll fix it for you. There you go.
Okay.
You can get him up from behind there.
I got really deep in there.
Rifle.
There.
and who's this at?
The guy right there in the doorway on the right.
Fourth and 5?
Top guy.
Oh, the top guy. Okay.
Second of 4.
Yeah, the
Unfortunately,
top right corner.
as you take aim, your phaser rifle misses, impacting upon the Borg cube's walls, doing pretty hefty damage.
That's unfortunate. You did a lot of damage.
I would have probably killed him. Correct me if I'm wrong. Weren't they supposed to have a shot every time we fire a shot? Or is that different for ground combat?
We're doing it differently in ground combat. Also, Borg don't shoot.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
They do
Not
sometimes.
Not canon Borg. Those you're referring to. Is it the Descent Part 1 and 2, where Lord gets those rogue drones and he refits them with little energy blasters? Yeah.
Something like
I
that.
don't like Borg. I don't like Borg having range. And every time we've seen them as the proper Borg, they just sort of zombie charge.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to have some advantage as well, game-wise.
Mm-hmm.
We want
Captain Law.
Starfleet booty.
What would you like to do?
All right, Captain, you gonna kill us?
So how far can I move? Well,
Be able
I
to get to
assume
there.
if I move, the rest of the other 4 are gonna move too.
If you want them to.
You have an army at your command.
Oh wow, usually they move as a unit, do they not? So how far can I move? 4 spaces?
You can move to about there.
Okay.
You'll still be able to
Well,
attack.
I want my Borg herd to move to there.
Okie dokie. Flop. 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 Flop.
Oh my.
And you can still attack.
Okay, so who am I looking at here? Anderson's in the middle?
You mean Command
Anderson
Officer
is-
1?
Yeah. Anderson is generic red shirt.
Oh,
Right
he's
here.
right. Okay. I'll grab for the guy on my right, looking down it'd be left. I'm gonna try to dab him.
Who's furthest left? Is that Lieutenant Kind, or is that Ensign Proto?
Yeah, she's talking about me. Her right,
Okay.
our left.
All right.
So it'd be me.
Melee strike then, please.
Melee
So that would be melee, an arm strike. Do I have to change anything
Unarmed.
in the weapon damage?
No, you just click on your character and then click on the button in the top left for melee strike.
Well, isn't it the button right next to unarmed strike?
No, you want unarmed strike.
So not in the character sheet. You don't use the character sheet for this. You click on your character on the map, and then in the top left there'll be buttons for attacking.
Oh, there it is.
And
Oh, balls.
Lieutenant Kind, could you also do an unarmed strike, please?
Yes. Oh.
There.
I love it. Uh-oh.
That is going to go to the aggressor in this instance, which is 3rd of 5. 3rd of 5, could you do melee damage, please?
Well, and that is under. Oh no, way up here. There we go.
Again.
Yeah.
Borg drone reaches out, grabbing at the security officer, punching him as hard as the drone is able to in its chest, and does 3 stress damage. This one furthest right is going to go for command officer, generic in his appearance, and just punch him. That's going to go to the aggressor in this instance. Oh. You got lucky.
I'm always lucky.
Back at the last minute.
This little drone here is going to go for Ensign Pro 2. Okay, so that's how it is. With an unarmed strike. And Ensign Pro 2, if you could respond with your own melee strike, please.
Sure thing.
That's going to the drone. Who is going to assimilate?
Yay!
Oh, damn.
That's a problem.
The Borg drone reaches out, grabbing at the security officer. Needles exit out of its fingers and pump into your own system. Surrounding officers watch as the veins in your body start to pump, filling with Borg nanotubes as pieces of machinery exit out of your body. This little drone here is going to go for the command officer with an unarmed strike. And if you could respond with an unarmed strike, please.
Oh boy.
You take 3 stress damage as the Borg drone hits you with one of his armatures directly across the face, splitting your cheek open and letting blood seep down from the wound. And the last remaining Borg drone is going to punch Lieutenant Kind. This is going to go to the aggressor, and you're going to be assimilated. You are held by your neck as the Borg drone brings its hand up to bear to you. 2 small tubules exit out of fingers and inject you with Borg nano drones, slowly assimilating you, robbing you of your free will. Command officer, you are the only remaining Starfleet officer with free will. What would you like to do?
It's a very solid question. Oh boy. Any chance we can transport out of here?
Not exactly, no.
Just no.
You are currently at the Battle of Wolf 359, and they're very reluctant to drop their shields.
Yeah, I can imagine. So, what does sprint do? That's my question.
You can leg it pretty much anywhere on this map. But that is your turn.
Okay. If I move like a normal distance, can I still remodulate my phaser rifle?
Yes, but you wouldn't be able to attack.
Can I move here?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna move there and remodulate my phaser rifle.
Do control engineering complication range 1 task roll 2, please.
Can I argue for control and security, considering it's a rifle?
Yeah. That's
Ugh.
fine. That's fine. That's a success.
Is it? Only
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
You open up the control panel on the phaser rifle. Using your vast security knowledge, tapping in totally not at random, different numbers changing the frequency of the beam.
Yeah. Totally not at random.
Captain Talor, as you are about to advance on the remaining Starfleet officer, you are enveloped in a blue energy beam. You are transported out of the Borg cube and placed in sickbay. Captain Talor awakens in her quarters aboard the Pendragon and sits up in her bed, exhaling slowly. Later on, Captain Talor is called in to meet with Fleet Captain Bathory to be briefed on the Pendragon's next assignment. Captain Talor, many former members of the collective have been having nightmares about their time assimilated. We theorize it is something to do with the presence of the Borg. At the moment, though, we are unable to engage them until they have at least left Romulan space. Not to mention the Klingons have kept Starfleet diverted. So far, Starfleet Command has preferred personnel from Starbase 11 not engage with the Borg. To quote them in their own words, it would introduce an unstable element. To matters present now, though, there is a Cardassian envoy en route through the Beta and Alpha quadrants. The ship has an important ambassador on board. Rendezvous with the Sindrel at the following coordinates. He hands you a pad. It is imperative the ambassador aboard the Sindrel makes it to Starbase 343 to initiate discussions. Once you meet with the Sindrel, the ambassador will likely appreciate some kind of fairly informal diplomatic function. Cardassians tend to appreciate such show of formalities. It would also be useful to get an impression of the Sindrel's crew. Although the Cardassians are our allies currently, it doesn't mean you have to trust them.
So, any further information on this envoy himself?
The ambassador is fairly new to the role. With the instability of the government having recently gotten rid of the Cardassian Union and the Ditapa Council now taking place, things are somewhat erratic. Information is becoming slightly harder to get.
So we are just escorting this envoy to Starbase 343.
Correct. It is imperative that the envoy makes it there in one piece.
No, 3 pieces?
Not 2 pieces, not 4 pieces, but 3 pieces, exactly 3 pieces, and not a piece more.
Is this at all costs, or are we authorized to use force if we are confronted?
You shouldn't have to use force upon the Cardassians. They are our allies after all.
I more meant if we run into someone who's going to try to stop us.
Like the Klingons, for example.
And then you are authorized to use all force. This is, after all, a war.
Understood, and we are to return to Starbase 11 after?
Correct.
Are we to understand any further information from the ambassador himself, or is he on a top secret mission?
The discussions are of a military nature, exchanging technology and strategy. If you wish to know more in detail, perhaps the ambassador would be forthcoming, but you know how Cardassians are with secrets.
Their secrets have secrets.
Understood. And where are we rendezvousing with the ship again?
The coordinates are on the pad I have provided for you.
Okay. Is that all?
Unless you have other questions?
Not at this time. Hoping the envoy himself will have further information if I require it.
I have a question.
Perhaps.
Where can I get a good rec to Geno?
The replicators Aboard all Federation vessels should be able to make a satisfactory Ractigino.
Vessels.
Alright.
The nuclear
Vessels.
vessels in Alameda.
Thank you.
Dismissed.
Heading back to the ship.
Is there anything you
All
wish
right,
to
Captain.
discuss with your first officer en route?
What's your experience like with the Cardassians, Captain?
As much as they may be allies, I don't completely trust them.
Agreed.
I feel like we should take some passive precautions, nothing too visible, but something that will ensure the security of the ship.
Maybe try and keep the ambassador here away from any critical systems.
Maybe we should assign him an escort to tour him around the ship.
You know what would be really funny? Let's assign him Ensign Protu.
Oh, Proto would have much to tell him.
Agreed.
I am sure he would jump at the chance. to be
Have you not
escort.
got... One of these days we should really ask one of the engineers to fix this turbo lift.
I was just gonna say, we still haven't gotten that turbo lift fixed yet.
No, it's been months.
I could just see Ship muttering under his breath. Fuck. Always bring up this turbo lift.
Fixed.
And like all technology, as soon as you mention that it's broken, it doesn't break. It's fixed now.
Well, see, it looks fixed, but I can still hear it. So I don't know. I feel
I'm
like
not
it was
making many different varieties of turbo lifts for however long that you can randomly be in a turbo lift at any given time. Sit here, manually select it, having a guess at how long you're going to be in the turbo lift, put it on a loop, and then load each and every single one of them there, have a macro for it. You can suck my nose.
I think we got our answer on that one.
I'm a storyteller, not an engineer.
Ah! Well then.
Heading to the bridge.
Yes.
Always to the bridge.
Captain
the
Talor and
bridge.
Commander Anderson step out of the turbo lift onto the Pendragon's bridge, seeing Protu at the helm station and Lieutenant Kind already waiting for them to be debriefed.
Ensign? Kind?
Yes, Commander.
We were to do a diplomatic mission here and deliver a Cardassian ambassador. Should be relatively straightforward, which means we'll probably get attacked. It's always the missions that are supposed to go smoothly. This is a Cardassian we're talking about. While we are allies, you know, we have a checkered past with the Cardassians. So Ensign Pro 2, we're going to ask you to be a guide for our guest while he's on board, and to maybe try and keep him away from any critical ship systems.
Would you like me to develop a sedative that Pro2 can give him if he chooses to wander in areas he's not supposed to?
That doesn't seem very diplomatic to me, but keep it in your back pocket.
Very well.
Is there anything
Hello.
you'd like to mention, Captain?
No, I believe that is all, other than we are to pick this ambassador up And take him to Starbase 343. We will be meeting.
Is there any chance that this starbase is named Guilty Spark?
You read my mind. I'm hoping we don't encounter a foreign little robot, all of us.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Unless it's secretly Pro 2 all along. Pro 2's like, what?
Sorry, Shipper. Halo reference.
Yes.
I
was like, I didn't get that, but okay.
Yeah, Pro 2, can you enter a course for us to rendezvous with the ambassador's ship?
Yes, I can do that.
Will the coordinates have synced up automatically with the system as soon as I brought the pad, or do I have to give him that?
Oh, you still got to give him the coordinates. But for all intents and purposes, we can say that you've done that. It's literally just handing over the pad. Is there anything you wish to discuss on your journey to the given coordinates before you rendezvous with the Sindrel?
Does anyone remember when the alliance here was formed with the Cardassians?
Yes, the hard question is now she has to look it up.
No, I remember. Just wondering if anyone else does.
No.
Joke's on you, I got robot brain. I just say I know it.
But you don't
Shiv?
say because nobody asked.
How
Exactly.
long has it been since the alliance was formed?
A few months, I believe.
That's what I thought.
So very fresh.
I think that we should be, as cordial as possible, but on our guard. We've had a lot of trouble with the Cardassians in the past, so I don't think we should fully trust a several-month-old alliance. Do you have anything to add, Captain?
No, I fully agree. And I do believe having Pro 2 as an escort is a good idea because he can't be swayed.
Exactly.
My only concerns is that me keeping time away from many of the ship's critical systems is a large part of my schedule, so I will have to occupy myself with other means.
We are more concerned if he is wandering in public spaces. You will not be the only one keeping an eye on him, but we would maybe like you to show him the systems of interest, and then hopefully he will spend the rest of his time in his quarters.
Understood.
Just to remind you, your mission was to escort the Sindrel, the ship.
No, the
I
ship,
thought it
thank
was the ambassador.
Oh.
The ambassador is staying on board the Sindrel.
Oh,
Well,
I
then-
thought he was coming. That completely changes the plan.
I can sedate the ship. I don't know how, but I'll figure it out.
Bioneural
please.
gel packs.
We could abduct the ambassador.
We just
Since
like,
we already have a
bring
whole
him on
plan and
board.
everything.
So, like, what we're
Do
going to do,
we-
right?
Like, alright.
We're going to take that ship, right? And we're going to beam over there, right? Hold on! Security. We're going to go. We're going to say, "Give us the fucking ambassador, you bastards!" And we're going to warp out of there.
Exactly.
I thought I would just get like a giant floating syringe and just somehow shove it in one of the engines, and then it would just release the sedative, and then they'll be asleep, and we just tow them.
That would be interesting.
Do we happen to know the make of the Sindrel?
I mean, it's either going to be a Gaylor class or
I can't remember the other one very, very well either.
I know it's a K.
Yeah.
Keldon.
Thank you. Which is
Oh, was
something
it
we should
Kim
remember,
Kardashian?
considering there's already a famous Kelvin Star Trek ship.
I feel like we should just fast forward back to when we came in and start over.
No, it's okay. We'll just be like,
Anyway.
oh, we misunderstood our orders. We'll just this is a lot easier. Pro 2, you don't have to escort anybody.
I would
Okay.
appreciate if Pro 2 pulled up the schematics or the information we do know about the Cardassian ships so that we prepared.
In case you want to abduct him.
Now, in case we have to fight.
That's fair.
Well, shall we proceed?
Yeah. Let's proceed to our rendezvous.
The Pendragon swoops out of warp at the coordinates given and finds the Sindrel is not in proximity to them. It is very unlike Cardassians not to be punctual.
Pro 2, please do a long-range scan to search for the Sindrel.
I will do that. How do I do that?
Insight science, please. Complication range of 1, task roll 2.
This should go. Wait a minute.
Pro 2 punches in the commands to run a long-range scan, and is able to find the Sindrel on long-range scanners, under attack from 4 Marquis Raider ships. The Sindrel weapons array has been disabled, and shields are starting to fail. Immediate assistance is requested.
Pro 2, maximum warp to the Sindrel's location.
Yep.
And as we come out of warp, immediately go into red alert.
Do you want to hit the button, or shall I hit the button for red alert?
I
You got
already
it.
did.
That's the fun part.
And it only played once, which is even better.
Yay.
Did you
Instead
say
of 14 times.
4 ships or 5 ships? I thought you said 4 and there's 5 there.
I meant 5, but I misspoke in my notes.
Oh, wow. I was hoping you were wrong and you'd be like, oh, I'll take that one away.
Really? You're a fucking sovereign class attack cruiser against these little bitty things, and you're like, oh, I don't like the look of this. You've also got a fleet of ships at your beck and call, and you're like, oh.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to ask
Fine.
if we had them. Well, you'd hope the Sindrel would have some kind of weapon system too. A little bit of oomph.
Captain,
Sindrel weapons array is offline.
Oh.
Captain,
Unfortunate.
can you give us a turn order?
Let's go Pro 2, Anderson, Kind, and me.
Perfect.
Okay. Pro 2. How would you like to do evasive maneuver? I mean, what would you like to do on your turn?
How far can I can only move one space and still do something, right?
Correct.
I was in the middle of opening up the
Right now you're at extreme range, which adds plus 3 difficulty
Oh,
to firing weapons.
Okay.
It's plus 1 difficulty for
Well-
each zone. So if you went one more in, you'd be at long range, which would be a plus 2 to difficulty. Medium range would be a plus 1. Short range would be natural.
Hold on, I have to get my con reference up. So if I want to
I should probably get those sheets myself, shouldn't I? That's what I'm missing.
Yeah, I think what's you said we're at long range right now?
Extreme range, I think you said.
Okay.
Yeah, you're at extreme range, which is plus
+3
3.
to
Yeah.
Well, I
difficulty.
was asking because it says that impulse allows me to move the ship anywhere within long range.
hmm
So, yeah, I'll do that. And I'm assuming this asteroid field is solid, correct?
Which one? Well, I mean, yes.
Sorry. Yeah, this one right here. I'm pinging it.
Ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
You need to do chart hazard to get through that.
Gotcha. What is considered long range?
3 zones.
3 zones? Cool. So if I moved that one, and then I could get here, right?
hmm
Yep, I'm gonna do that. Where is impulse?
Might be called full
Impulse
impulse.
engines. And I'm going to move.
And it only played once.
Yeah.
Now that you say that, the most annoying sound effect that we probably have in the arsenal is going to be played over and over and over.
Probably.
Probably.
Okay. Supremacy is going to fire its phaser banks at the Sindral.
That's not a hit.
But that's a miss, I believe.
Yes.
Is it difficult? Yeah, it's difficulty 2 for phasers, difficulty 3 for a photon. Or torpedo. So yeah, that is a miss. Which brings us to Commander Anderson. You are currently at medium range. Oh. I have no idea who you're getting. Try it again.
Okay.
I'll just do that.
Apparently, no one's in range.
Reporting in, Pendragon. The Merlin's here to assist.
Oh.
Get the Merlin.
Ooh.
I haven't had them before, have
I
I?
Sounds
wanted-
magical.
I wanted the ship. Totally not the right sound effect.
Ooh, it's a galaxy class. Okay.
Okay, maybe. Never mind. I'm okay. I'm okay
I
with this
think
one.
we got enough firepower now.
Greed is going to fire its phaser banks on the Sindrel. Don't bother hiring Marquis as hitman. That's all I can say.
Yeah, right? I guess again.
The phaser beam goes wide of the fucking massive ship and fires off into the dead of space. Lieutenant
They're
Kind.
targeting
know that-
scanners are in rough shape.
I didn't know the Maquis ships were manned by stormtroopers.
All right, it is Kind's turn.
C.
Here.
Hmm?
I said, see, I said, here. He didn't get it.
No.
Listen.
Ship got it.
Uh,
Fucking bollocks.
What?
Did your mother-in-law just scare you?
No, the wife did.
Hi.
Oh, Yamate.
We all say hi.
She's gone.
Oh.
Taking my pulse with her.
Oh.
You gotta clean your drawers.
I will do. Oh, excuse me. I will scan for weakness on.
Well, right now it's my fucking heart.
And we can't even see her because of the
The green screen, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Normally that's what I use to see if she comes in. Is just watch as the door opens, but no, not today. So I was just suddenly. Ah! I'll
It was
make a
great. The
copy of
green
your
screen
tape.
kind
Just
of.
don't crawl out of the monitor and eat me.
She kind of like shimmered in on the green screen right before you said that, so it was kind of funny from my perspective.
Scan for weaknesses. Control. Science. Wonderful. And do the ship's roll for me, please.
East.
Gives you 2
Yay.
momentum.
Which ship
Ooh.
did you scan for weakness?
I did it on the Envy.
Perfect.
Power. Seeing this new ship enter the fray, is going to use thrusters to move there. And I should probably bring up Merlin's character sheet, actually, shouldn't I? That would help. And fire at the Merlin.
I don't know what to say, but I think the shields are going to hold.
Especially with a miss like that. As the phase beam
Wow.
goes wide of the agile large ship. Wonderful. Captain to Law.
Am I able to send out a message?
Well, you want to hail someone?
All of them.
Yeah, you can do like a general hail.
Render
Mhm.
now or die.
I would remind you, though, that this is the Marquis, who are basically, fingers up
Crazy.
at the Federation. Yeah.
I feel like they have to be somewhat intelligent though and see that this is
They
futile.
see themselves as freedom fighters against all odds, taking on literally the entire Federation and the Cardassian Union.
Well, because the Syndrell's under our protection now. Okay, so how do
for it.
I do open hailing frequencies? Here we go. Maquis Fleet. This is the U.S.S. Pendragon. Oh,
This
did
is
I
how
break
often
it?
this is how often you end up using open hailing frequencies. That's
Never.
also. Oh, right, okay.
Maquis Fleet. This is the U.S.S. Pendragon. The Syndrell is under our protection, and you are currently outgunned and outpowered. Stand down now, and you may go freely.
You get a response from one of the ships. It doesn't matter. We have the power of righteousness on our side. We fight for our freedom. If we are to die, we are to die martyrs. Do not interfere with us destroying this Cardassian ship, or you yourself shall be fired upon by us.
Understood.
How quaint. So do I still have an action or no?
Nope.
That's it. Okay.
That would count because that would be effectively a dice roll. So that would be the end of your turn.
I feel like it's the
Uh,
Merlin's turn after the next
Envy.
Cardassian, right?
It's going to use thrusters to go there. And it's going to remodulate its shields.
The scan for weakness thing goes away?
No.
No? Okay.
Goes until Kind's next turn.
And it's... What is difficulty on? Shields difficulty 2. So it's going to gain plus 2 resistance to this next turn. The Merlin! What would you like the Merlin to attack?
Probably the closest ship.
The Envy?
Is that the one he scanned for weakness, right?
Yes. But the piercing 2 quality wouldn't be applied to the Merlin.
No. They don't know about the weakness.
I think they still have power, though.
Hmm?
So who has to do the turn for the Merlin then? Is that you? Yeah.
Oh, he does, but you have to tell him who you want them to attack.
The Envy.
The Envy or the Power?
Okay.
Envy? Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna go.
The Merlin is going to fire phasers at the Envy. Actually, we're going to put a bit of extra juice on these phasers. Because why not?
Yeah, because you don't need...
6 of 16. Lock phasers, open fire.
That was an owl.
The Merlin fires its phaser beam directly on the Envy, impacting upon its shields and does 8 damage. Oh no, wait. Resistance.
Two resistance.
I was gonna say,
Does 3 damage overall,
mhm.
after accounting for resistance, which is very much fertile. Vengeance
Thanks.
is left, and is going to stay where it is, but for whatever it's worth, is going to open fire on the Sindrel.
Nope.
It's an 11. Fine. Which brings us back round to Pro 2. How would you like to do your attack pattern? I mean, what would you like to do?
How did you know?
He's just so good
Yeah,
at it.
We're just going to rename attack pattern to Maneuver Pro 2.
No, because my big thing is evasive maneuvers. Attack patterns like, okay, we're starting to win now. I'm gonna make us win quicker. But yeah, I'm gonna do attack pattern.
Love it.
Okay. What you do for me? Daring. Con.
And con. Focus used. Yes.
Oh,
Info.
nice. Job.
Excellent.
Whichever one that is. Supremacy is going to do phaser banks on the Sindrel. One day I'm going to get a hit, but that day is not today. Anderson.
Sorry, I know you said this before, but I just want to make sure I'm correct here. How far can I move without using an action?
I think it's one zone with maneuvering
I can move
thrusters.
the ship to here.
You can move it into there or there.
Okay. Now at extremely close range with attack pattern, we're going to fire phasers on the Envy.
Okay. Do for me, I believe it's control and security. Let me check. Yeah, control, security.
Why is it not just the? Oh, it is the. But never mind. My brain just stopped for a moment. Control security. Right. Complication range 1. Task roll 2.
Correct. Wonderful. And do the ships for me,
And
please. Pendragon opens fire with its phaser beam, slightly hitting the Envy, and does 1 shield damage to it as it impacts upon the shield. The Greed.
Has Kind gone yet? Or Kind's gone yet?
Well, it was Anderson's turn just then.
Yeah.
I know, but if he hasn't gone yet, then the weakness is still applied.
What do you mean? Oh, the piercing.
yeah,
Yeah.
for the Envy.
Okay, so that does 2 damage.
Ooh.
Yay! I did slightly more.
It's good that
Well
Prote's
done.
paying attention.
I am.
Well, you're the only one that caught that.
Yep. Greed
All right, time for greed.
is going to, no surprise, just fire phasers on the Sindrel.
Desperate for a hit.
And completely miss it. This is what happens when you get farmers to come up as rebel. Lieutenant Kind!
The pilot of the Cinderella is doing an amazing dancing job there.
Listing slightly to the left.
Does the yeah, the Envy still has their the resistance, right?
Envy still has the resistance, but you no longer
Okay.
have the piercing.
Okay. I'm going to hit the power.
You're going to reroute power?
No, like I'm going
Like,
to
he's
fire.
gonna-
Like I'm going to shoot power.
Shoot
Oh, you're going to
the
shoot
ship named Power.
Power.
I'm going to
Right.
shoot the ship that's named Power.
Gotcha. Phasers or photons?
Phaser.
Okay, control, security.
Okay. Expect much, but
And do the ships for me, please.
I are phasers.
we're done.
Good job.
7.
It's what, 5?
Seven. The phaser beam impacts on the small ship's shields, completely destroying them on impact.
Ooh, very
Wow.
nice.
The shields, that is, not the ship.
Well, no, but I didn't. I would take the shields out in one shot.
And it is Power's turn.
Shiv, I think you updated the wrong
Oh,
ship.
did you the envy or the power? Because the envy's down to 1.
That explains a lot. Hang on.
The envy should be at 4.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yay!
So it was-
The power.
There we go. 2 monitors is not enough.
Nope. Need 4.
Power is going to fire its phasers at the Pendragon. Screw it. No.
That was a lot of no.
Is going to do a signal jam on the Pendragon. Which brings us to Captain Talor.
Like to retrofit the Pendragon so I can do a Death Blossom? No.
You have to
Sounds like a
spend
plan.
several months at an arcade before you're allowed to do that.
I'd like to do some power management. I think I should probably
It's
up our
back to
power
power.
again. Yeah.
We're at 12 of 16, if you want to know.
No, she was 3rd of 5.
Terrible behavior.
'Cause if I was to generate power, then it would probably only be 1 or 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
You would get 1 power back, and if you had any momentum generated from the roll, you could use any of that momentum to go straight back to power.
Okay, well, let's do that because I know these guys are going to keep shooting. So,
Would you prefer daring or control?
um, control.
Control, engineering, please. Communication range of 1. Task roll 2.
Roll that one.
You do
Reroll
have a
that
big chunk of
one.
momentum.
So when I reroll, I just task roll 1 to reroll that. Yeah,
Yep.
same thing.
Control, engineering, 1-1.
That's better.
That's better. And do the ship power management, please. Oh, wait.
Oh.
I tell a lie. You cannot. That is a failure.
Oh,
Difficulty is 2 for power management.
at least it's not a
Oh.
critical failure.
And the ship can assist?
Ship doesn't have a roll for it.
Damn.
So I
That's
believe that the
rude.
reasoning for behind that would be the ship would in essence be a perpetual motion machine because you'd be using the ship to create power for the ship. I think.
But that
Good
would
point.
be great. Break everything.
All the button does is automatically give you the power back.
Cool.
Well, that's not bad though.
Looks like it's the Envy's turn.
Did the Merlin go at all?
It's been
It
once,
goes
yeah.
after
It
the.
fired it. Yeah,
Okay,
it goes,
it goes
very
after this
last.
one. Okay.
Envy
many
is
rounds.
going to do something really stupid.
Ramming speed.
That's exactly what it's going to do.
I was totally kidding, but
Isn't it just going to explode on the shields?
Probably.
So I figured. A lot smaller ship.
Oh, nice.
List of valued ships. Ship. Okay, that's a success.
Oh,
Fine.
it'll come up in about 10 minutes.
And that was on the Merlin.
I think you typed that in wrong, Shiv. Because it just rolled a 5. Because you told 5d6 should be one word.
Let me have. So this is missing.
Oh, there we
Oh,
go.
oh, there it just suddenly works. All right, fine. 2,
Yeah, I said 10 minutes.
6. Great. The Envy throws itself at the Merlin shields, impacting upon the hull, and does a whopping 1 damage.
Woo. And incinerates himself.
Wow.
Pops like a bubble.
And just from if you need to drain your natural fluids or artificial fluids, Proto, you can just go pee. I don't care. Or
No,
poo.
that's not what
I don't mind. Whatever you need to do. We're not going to bio-shame here.
Bio shame. Jeez.
Merlin. What would you like the Merlin to do?
Isn't that what the Merlin did already?
No, their turn wasn't getting smacked by a little ship.
Oh.
Yeah. You got
Scratch the
rammed,
paint.
therefore.
Who do you want
that
them
blemish
to
on the side there?
I feel like the Merlin should ram the power. Keep.
I mean, it can if you want. It really can.
Why?
love this
You want to
game.
play like that? Let's play bumper cars.
You think that was exciting to watch? Watch. Hold my beer.
We learned what it's like to smack a big ship with a small ship. Now let's see what happens when you smack a small ship with a big ship.
There you
I
go.
was so unprepared for this, I haven't even got ramming speed as an option for the Merlin. Which is
Because you
really
didn't
weird,
think
because
we'd
I know I
actually
had it
choose
recorded.
something like that?
Yeah. But we can do it. That's no
Oh,
problem. I'm ashamed of myself. Alright.
boy. I approve of your your methods, Captain.
Oh shit. Okay, so alright, yep. Oh shit. Okay. This is actually really gonna be really bad for the other ship. Con.
Like it just has to like lightly touch it and it just explodes. Oh, it is so dead.
Oh, that's funny.
Kind of needs like those little like windshield wipers. Just there's a bug that just hit the windshield.
Yeah, let's look up some facts and figures, shall we?
We're doing the stupid thing again.
Didn't the first one count, or is that different?
No, that's from before. That was the little
Oh,
chip and the big
I
chip.
gotcha.
That was rolling for success. This is rolling for damage. And it's missing, apparently, challenge.
It'll come
Maybe-
up as
Maybe it's doing that on purpose because it's like, dude, what are you doing? It's automatic. I mean, look at the size of that thing. Come on.
I mean,
Just telling you
this,
it's an
this
auto
is
win.
just roll 20 being roll 20. There it goes, you see.
Hey,
I changed
Yep,
nothing.
Still dead.
So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that was on the power. Ooh.
hungry hippoed that ship.
So that completely destroys the shields as the Merlin plows through the ship. And it does a breach.
So the power managed to survive that hit? Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, but it's basically being knocked straight out, so the power can't go on the next turn.
I feel like what
brings
the
us to-
representation. Oops, sorry.
Sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say what just happened reminds me of the scene from Kung Fu Panda when he fell on top of Tai Ling, and there's that scene where his eyeballs are just bulging out because his fat ass just sat on his head as he was rolling down the hill.
Yeah, that's about right.
Alright,
Something
continue.
against cat pandas.
Yep, now that you got that visual representation.
Vengeance is going to use maneuvering thrusters to move there. And fire its phaser banks at the Pendragon.
I was hoping it was going to ram.
Finally a hit.
Was she
Actually,
shooting
decent
at?
shot.
That actually was a decent shot.
9 points of damage raw on the
Whoa.
Pendragon. What is the resistance on the Pendragon?
Isn't it 5?
Prochu knows that.
I'm muted. 6.
3 points
not
of
gonna do
shield
much
damage to the Pendragon.
Just took the wind right out of him. Oh yeah, I finally did it!
Fucking 9 reduced to 3.
Like taking a slingshot and taking one of those like playground pebbles and going ting.
Well, I guess Protu might as well take a turn.
Is
2.
that like a drunk John?
No, he sounds
No,
like
it's
Eeyore.
Eeyore.
Yeah, it was meant to be Eeyore.
Oh.
That was totally recognizable as Eeyore. It
Fail.
was a good job.
Now I
Shipper.
can't even do an Eeyore impression.
I am going to Tokyo drift into this spot.
Oh.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Ooh.
Or as they
Because
call
I
it
think
here, drift.
yeah.
Because you're already in Tokyo.
Wow. That's
Yep.
good as.
And guess what I'm gonna do?
Attack.
Are you going to fire your phasers on the Vengeance? Oh.
No, why would he?
Do. Daring con, please. Jesus. Okay. Have some momentum.
Wow.
It was a really good drift.
Really good drift.
Was good.
You're perfecting your Protu maneuvers, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
It's probably so good the enemy was like, I wish I could do that.
Which attack pattern was that? I'm curious. It was so effective.
Omega.
That was the badass up pattern.
Do you know,
Oh, okay.
fun fact for you, the attack pattern sound effect actually are different depending on if it's alpha, beta, or omega.
Oh, nice.
Vengeance is going to go there. It is going to wistfully whisper its phasers at the Pendragon.
Oh.
Wow.
And completely miss in the process. You see, you came into this fight, you were like, oh, there's 5 of them, I'm worried, we're going to call for reinforcement. Oh.
I feel like they have to recalibrate their targeting computers.
Right?
Commander Anderson,
From point blank range, going to fire phasers on the Vengeance.
Okay. Control security, please.
Oh,
Down.
Oh, I'd re-roll that.
Can I re-roll both?
You can. That would be 3 momentum.
yeah, worth it. Don't get snake eyes again, though.
Uh-huh.
Nah.
That's what I was looking for.
You get
We
2
get,
back.
I was just gonna say, we get momentum back.
And could you do the ship's phasers, please? That's
Oh.
fine.
Oh, wait,
Nope.
is it?
Yeah,
Oh, that's right. Yep.
that's just an assist
Only need
roll.
2
He's already-
successes.
No, you
That's
only
right.
needed 1 because of Pro 2's amazing
Oh,
attack
because
maneuvers.
of yeah,
That's
Right.
right. Yeah.
That's
golden
7.
and 10 damage.
Reduced to 7.
Yep.
Hi. Yeah. Hi.
Oh, kitty.
Oh, he's
Hi, kitty.
upset.
Lovely. The phase beam impacts upon the ship's shields. They fluctuate for a moment, going offline, but manage to come back online a few moments later. Barely. The greed.
Captain Shield's at 4%.
Pretty much, actually. The greed is going to go martyring it. Ram itself directly into the Sindrel.
Oh,
boy.
dear.
I have a feeling this is going to do more damage. Oh, that's 4 successes.
Well, success doesn't damage. Your tail out my.
Good old roll 20. That's what happens with these hacky sheets. I mean, these completely functional official sheets that are wonderful in every single way and never fuck up. There we go. 6 damage from the greed as it throws itself into the Sindrel, whose sheet I don't currently have because I'm a bit of a twat. See, 2 monsters, not enough. Did I say 6 damage?
Yes.
That is able to do 1 breach on the Sindrel.
Not
Let's
good.
confuse things. Whoop-de-doo-dah. That was the greed, so it really is. Lieutenant Kind. Who is deep in thought, it seems. Probably thinking about
Very deep.
Cordrazine. Throw something at the back of his head, see if it catches his attention.
It's your turn.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. He was off in Never Neverland.
You've got to lay off that Cordrazine, Doc.
All right.
Awesome.
I am going to hit the Vengeance in the butt really hard.
With what?
Phaser.
Ooh.
You could use a torp, but it would increase the threat. But a torp wouldn't be that ineffective.
Well, I don't know. I have to blow through the shield at least 2 shields, though.
Yeah, but there you've also got quantum torpedoes.
Good choice either way, I think.
fine. We'll do the quantum torpedo. Control security.
You. Yep, control security.
If just wants a big bada boom.
You need
Oh,
3
do the ship-
successes for this?
Yep.
I would re-roll a 0.
Okay.
Come on!
Oh, wait, hang on. No. Hang on. No, that's not a valid
Oh
roll.
yeah, that's control command. You want control security, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, bunga!
There you
Yep.
go.
That helps.
And do the ship
And-
roll for me, please.
Come on, ship!
I gotta pull up the chip sheet. Or you mean just the actual torpedo?
Yeah, just the
Yeah.
actual torpedo.
Oh,
Quantum torpedo.
Quantum torpedo salvo.
No, not the salvo.
no.
Sorry. No.
I mean, you
Fire.
can do a
Quantum
salvo
torpedo.
if you want, but
Oh my.
that's much better. So you even gain a momentum. And... Fucking hell's bells.
He better be dead.
So much maths. Fucking hell. Okay. You do 2 breaches.
Oh,
And that was on the
Did it destroy-
Vengeance.
did it destroy the remainder of the shields?
Oh yeah. Oh
Good.
yeah. And that's actually 2 on the structure.
Yeah, that ship's in a lot of trouble.
Oh! Yeah, you've blown the shit out of that. 'Cause it's only a little ship, and you did equal number of breaches to its scale, so bada boom.
Yay!
Good
Big-
big bada boom.
Big
bada-
bada boom.
Big bada boom.
That ship
That means the
can't do fuck
power's
all.
dead, right?
Pardon?
That means the power's dead too, right?
What do you mean? It's dead.
Or didn't it take a structure?
It took
Or
one
was that the Merlin?
breach, I believe.
It took
Yeah,
one
it took
breach and
just
it
one
was
See, what happened on that?
communication.
What happened on that shot was you naturally got 2 breaches just from the damage. You then got another breach because you did X amount of damage, which causes another breach. You got so many breaches, more than the scale of the ship. You blew it up, whereas the power took 1 breach.
Gotcha, sorry.
No problem.
It did more like a ping pong thing, or where it got smoked by a paddle.
The
You
torpedo
know
went.
how
Bing, bing, bing,
it
bing,
is with Starship combat, how long it's taken us to get to this stage.
Yep.
That was Lieutenant Kind. That ship can't do Smeggle because it took a breach, so that brings us to Captain Talor.
To decide if I should generate some power or not.
There's
We've
really
got
no
10
point.
Power. Yeah, we've got 10 power.
Uh,
We still got the attack pattern, so I would take advantage of that.
Okay, then I'll fire at the supremacy.
Okay. Phasers, I take it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Control security.
Okay.
Complication
Complication
range of 1.
range
Task roll 2.
1.
Would you like to stick with it?
that's-
I only have to succeed once, right?
I wouldn't normally tell you the difficulty, but because things have got a bit complex, and we're still fairly fresh at this, because you've fired twice already, the difficulty has increased by 1. It was knocked down by 1, then it was
So
at
the ship
natural,
has to
now it's at
succeed then.
+1. So you need to get 3 successes.
Oh.
Reroll the 0.
We got
We have
momentum.
lots of mo.
Okay.
Hit it with the Momo. Well, that's not okay.
No. Did not work.
Well, give it a shot. Maybe you'll succeed with the ship.
Ship can get a critical.
Fire phasers. Where is it?
I'm a firing my laser.
Oh, it must be my
Oh,
birthday.
there we go.
Yes. Yes.
Pew
it is.
pew.
Oh.
Not quite.
The Pendragon fires his phasers, slightly missing the small ship that maneuvers slightly to the left out of the way. So that does bring us to the Vengeance.
Vengeance has been
Vengeance
bended.
is dead.
Oh yeah, that's a supremacy there. It's so small I can't zoom in. I don't have the benefit. So that will be the Merlin. You wanted to
Take
finish
out the
off
power.
the power?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, it's got the power.
Sit on it again.
To kill the power.
Got the power.
It's going to fire full spread of photon torpedoes on the power.
Oh my.
Oh my
my.
god.
Oh, it did.
That's how you say overkill.
6 of 16. Full spread on photon torpedoes on my mark. Mark.
Oh boy. That's how you spell it with extreme prejudice.
The power is swamped by photon torpedoes, impacting upon the structure, and before the final torpedo even impacts, the ship is blown to 1,000 pieces with all aboard. No one all aboard now.
They were warned.
Supremacy is going to do a kamikaze. Can't say that word loudly here. Run over on the Cinderella. Motherfucker.
And bounced off.
I'm going to burn some threat. And reroll. Fucking
Amazing. Incredible.
0 success.
Would you like to burn
Just it
some more
wasn't a
threat?
crit.
Uh...
Pro 2. I think I accidentally fucked up the turn order there, but not like it mattered.
Yeah, I'll just do another attack pattern. I'll move in a little bit closer to 2.
Nose to nose.
Daring. Con. Oh.
Oh. You're probably gonna want to reroll that sucker.
Yeah, I'll reroll the 1.
In the 0.
Remember, the needs of
yeah.
the 1 outweigh the needs of the 0s. Or the crits.
Oh my.
Okay. So, that is still a thingamafailure. I'd like you to reduce your power by 2, please.
Oh.
But that is still a success at cost. Ensign Pro2 plugs in the coordinates for the Pendragon to perform an attack maneuver. As he does so, though, he notices strangely that an extra amount of power is used, but he is unable to account for it. Commander Anderson.
Somebody's having too much fun in the holosuites again. All right.
Barclay!
Yeah. Fire phasers.
Okay. Control. Security. And do the ship roll for me, please.
Gonna use one extra damage dice.
Momentum or power?
Power.
Okay. Pendragon's phaser beam impacts on the shields, hitting against it and reducing their effectiveness. Lieutenant Kind, how would you like to proceed with the slaughter? I mean, what would you like to do on your turn?
I'd like to shoot it and blow him up with phaser.
Okay. Control. Security.
Yeah, there you go.
Perfect. And do the ship roll for me, please.
How much momentum do I have?
3.
Okay. I'll just keep that.
And don't forget, you can also add in power. But that's fine. Pendragon fires his phasers once more, pummeling against the shields of the Supremacy. The shields are just barely holding from all the impacts. It's almost like it was on a black leather couch. Captain Talor,
Yes.
what would you like to do?
Can I use quantum torpedoes on it?
You could. The difficulty would be 4, however.
I'd add an extra dice.
Do that.
Are you feeling lucky, punk?
Control. Security.
Control security. I assume it's complication 3.
Nope. Complication range of 1.
Oh,
That's roll 3.
and task roll 3.
Mm,
Yeah, that's not bad. You can still pull it off. Maybe.
you could. You could also try and reroll the 0.
I would reroll the 0.
Okay, so that's 1 and 1.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
There you go.
There we go.
Okay.
And do the
One more.
ship quantum torpedo, please. Not the salvo.
Come on, ship.
Sorry?
Not salvo. Unless you
No,
want
it's
to fire
the fire
a
quantum
salvo.
torpedo.
Yeah. Salvo is a spread.
Oh,
No way. Brutal. Brutal.
You would have got 2 breaches if that had hit. Unfortunately, the quantum torpedo flies slightly off from target.
And you can't reroll ship rolls, right?
I don't believe so.
Asking the tough questions.
Well, I'm thinking, well, if this is going to make a difference. I don't think we ever asked if we could reroll ship rolls.
Doesn't look like it. Looks like it's only for personal.
Okay.
Hmm.
Worth asking.
The Merlin. Hasn't really got much
Was
of a
our
choice, has it?
attack pattern still in there?
Yeah,
Yes.
it was. We had just fired a bunch of times.
Otherwise, it would have been difficulty 5.
Merlin's going to
Yeah.
move there. And... yeah, fuck it. She's going to do her famous maneuver and fire a full spread of photons.
Hmm.
Nope.
Tactical. Photon torpedoes. Full spread. Now.
Unfortunately, they fall slightly short. But luckily,
Imagine how scary
they
it'd be
don't
to be
hit
in the
anything wrong.
supremacy here. Well, there you go. Can you imagine how scary it'd be to be in the supremacy right now?
Like this point, I'd be
Torpedoes
like,
flying
no.
by.
This is what we signed up for. Pro 2!
Apparently.
Is it not the supremacy's turn?
No, it should be you, then the supremacy. I fucked up last time. And it didn't matter.
Yeah, I'll just do the same.
Attack maneuver. Okay, Darren can't. And do the ship
Good
roll,
job,
please.
Ensign.
Wonderful. Supremacy is once more going to try and ram itself into the Sindrel. Because that's what it's there for.
Nope.
Obviously, its navigation computers are affected
Okay,
too.
it's not bugged, it just doesn't like me. Anderson!
Mm-hmm. We're gonna go quantum torpedo salvo at the supremacy. We're gonna use an extra dice.
That's
Make
going to
really sure.
Right. Do control security.
There.
Wonderful.
That's success is already, isn't it?
Yep. And do the ship roll
That's
for
what I
me,
thought.
please.
9.
You did.
I'm not even going to bother adding that up. That's way more than enough.
Bye-bye, little ship.
Several quantum torpedoes leave the Pendragon's bay, impacting on the hull, completely obliterating it in space. Hate it when I lose something. There it is.
Looks like it all turned out well in the end. Merlin out.
The Merlin departs. And the Pendragon is hailed by the Sindrel. Captain, thank you for your timely assistance in driving off the raiders. They are taking full advantage of the Klingons, keeping both of our fleets occupied. The Sindrel is currently damaged, but my crew are already working on repairs. May I suggest my bridge crew and I beam over with the ambassador in a short while? It would be a pleasure to meet with your valiant crew and extend our thanks to your senior staff.
U.S.S. Pendragon to Sindrel. I am glad to hear all is underway for repairs, and we would welcome you aboard at your convenience.
And at this point, we shall take a break. We'll be right back. Unlike the Marquis.
They didn't do so good.
I am Gul Jarek, and this is Ambassador Frakek. I shall allow the Ambassador some time with you. My men and I would love to enjoy your hospitality and mingle with your crew. Thank you, Captain.
You're most welcome. Please enjoy our hospitality.
The man and his crew disperse, each forming an orderly line along the tray of food and beverages laid out. Ambassador Frakek extends his hand to Captain Talor. A pleasure, Captain. Thank you for your timely intervention. I fear if it weren't for you, we wouldn't be standing here now. Though it also hurts us that we were so late because of these petty raiders.
Well, we have taken care of the problem now, and hopefully we can be underway sooner than later.
I'm looking forward to the talks. Hey, Mihal, darling. I'm looking forward to the talks. The war with the Klingons is not going quite so well. The more information and technology shared, the better. This is a most impressive vessel. Please, what do you know of it?
We are much, I wouldn't say cobbled together crew, but we have quite the diverse array of officers and crew on board. My first officer, Anderson, would have much more technical knowledge of the inner workings. If you care to hear more information about the ship itself.
I shall keep that in
Hello.
mind. Thank you, Captain. You must be...
Greetings, Ambassador Frakek.
Greetings to you, Commander Anderson, I take it?
Absolutely.
Excellent. I was just talking with your captain about the ship itself. She said that you would have more understanding of it. Please, what do you know of this fine vessel?
Well, this is a Sovereign-class Federation starship, which is among our finest vessels. And, sorry, just a moment.
24 decks,
Thank you.
bioneural gel packs, new warp drive system that doesn't tear the fabric of space, quantum torpedo
that's always
technology.
It comes with a joystick. For precision maneuver.
How interesting.
Yeah. As you can tell, it is a pretty classic Federation design, but has been sort of shaped by the last several years of warfare, with much better defensive systems.
As I understand it, the Sovereign class also has a sister class, the Lunar class?
The Lunar class? How did the Cardassians know about that?
Are you asking the Ambassador or just in general?
The Ambassador.
Well, as I understand it, one of the more famous vessels of the class is the most recent Enterprise. Thank you, Mihal. The first officer is currently being eyed up for a transfer, is he not?
How do you have such detailed information about the inner workings of Starfleet?
You have heard of the Obsidian Order, have you not?
I have. I didn't realize that the Federation ambassador would have such detailed knowledge.
I was only recently appointed to the post. Once the Obsidian Order was dissolved, I found myself in need of a new line of work.
So you were a spy?
Not everyone in the Obsidian Order is a spy. Is everyone in Starfleet the captain of a vessel?
That wasn't a no. This has been a very engaging conversation, Ambassador for Keck. I hope you greatly enjoy our hospitality, and we will get you to these talks as soon as possible.
I look forward to it. I believe Gul Jarek wished to speak directly with yourself and your captain. I shall leave you to it, as you humans say.
Thank you. I wave over the captain, and we head over to speak with Guldurek.
Captain Talor, this must be your executive officer.
Commander Anderson.
Great to meet you, Guldurek.
Pleasure to meet you as well. This is a fine vessel, and as I understand it, this class of starship is also fairly new, the cutting edge of technology, correct?
Absolutely. And as you could see, we called in the assistance of our previous flagship as well.
It was extremely useful. Your timely intervention was invaluable to deal with those impertinent Marquis. Your assistance was greatly appreciated.
Just idle curiosity, was this a random raid, or had you had run-ins with the Maquis in this area before?
The Sindrel has had previous run-ins with the Marquis, but never this far away from the homeworld.
Have
We
there been
worry that
any intentional skirmishes with the Maquis?
it would be most impertinent of me to discuss Cardassian internal affairs with you, would it not?
I see. From my discussion with Ambassador Furkek, it would seem that you have excellent knowledge of Federation internal affairs. It would only seem fair.
I am not the ambassador. I am but a merely humble gull.
That's fair.
I do believe Anderson is maybe not asking for privileged information, but just as we are escorting you to these talks, I do believe he's concerned that there may be further attack by these groups and is just curious to know whether we should be aware and prepared for that.
I believe this far into the Beta Quadrant, our greatest threat would be roaming Klingon bands of warriors. For the Marquis to have ventured out this far is quite rare. They usually skulk around in the Badlands.
That's fair. Excellent observation. Have the Cardassians picked up any nearby Klingon activity?
We have not. Not here. They are mostly around Cardassian space. Captain,
War's not going well, eh?
the war is not going well at all for either side. As I understand it, several Federation colonies have also been lost.
Absolutely.
Captain, we would like to return your gesture of hospitality. Would you and your senior staff care to join us on the Sindrel for a tour? I would take offense if you refuse. I understand that Starfleet officers rarely get a chance to see what the Cardassian military is capable of creating. You would be our honored guests, and of course, it will help provide the ambassador a proper handoff.
I cannot refuse. It is a very grand gesture, and I am sure my senior crew would be very interested to see the tour you have to offer.
Marvelous. I look forward to receiving you on the Sindrel. Meanwhile, talking with Lieutenant Kind is another Cardassian bridge officer. He's holding a glass of Kanar and engaging deeply with Lieutenant Kind. Doctor, correct?
Yes, you are correct.
I was merely wondering, what are your thoughts on the Marquis?
Well, I find their determination in some ways inspiring, but in other ways horrifying. I find that they seem to feel that they have a righteous cause, but unfortunately, they're willing to do it at the sacrifice of many. In most cases, in vain.
It seems to be an ongoing thing with various species of the Alpha Quadrant. First the Bajorans, now these wretched Marquis.
I do wonder if somehow there is a way for us to get through to them that, in the end, all of this bloodshed is for nothing. If they do not simply talk at the table and try to discuss things rather than just using blasters as a means of communication.
But surely that was tried. The treaty the Federation and the Cardassians agreed to clearly succeeds the planets in questions to the Cardassians.
True, but on one hand, all it takes is one mind to poison another, and if enough minds are poisoned, it spreads like a plague. And that, unfortunately, is hard to control. Vaccine, if you will, is cool-headed person within their ranks to actually quell plague with which rips through their ranks. But who that person may be, if they even exist, I do not know.
Plague is hard to contain when people are masking their intentions.
That is true. Curious as that you bring that up. Why do you?
Well, clearly, the Federation seems to be doing very little about the Marquis. The Cardassians have been bearing the brunt of their wrath for some time now.
Are you suggesting that we are using you as a mere shield versus us inserting ourselves into the conflict directly?
No, I am merely implying that the Federation seems rather unwilling to assist us in containing a threat that were once Federation citizens and are clearly now part of the Cardassian Empire.
True. But you do understand, though, that our alliance is still quite new, and as much as we want to help in every way possible, we still need some time to make sure that everything is, how shall I say, built to last in terms of our alliance.
The alliance is new, yes, but this treaty predates our alliance. In fact, this treaty was made to end hostilities between our two peoples. It seems to have merely made hostilities between former Federation citizens and our own, and we are the ones paying the cost.
If that is the case, what would you suggest that we would do in order to rectify this situation, if it be that?
Well, if it were left to the Cardassians, we would merely round up all those affected and put them in labor camps. It is a gesture of goodwill to the Federation that we have not done so with their former citizens. But what support have we in fact received from the Federation, if any at all?
Have you thought that perhaps the way with which you would conduct yourselves in that matter is a form of enslaving those people? Perhaps that is not something the Federation wishes upon another species, let alone an entire race.
And it was my understanding that the Federation's prime directive forbids interfering with other cultures directly.
No, the prime directive is to ensure that a civilization is not altered by the technologies with which are far more advanced and alter the course of their history based off of injecting something with which they have never discovered at any point in time in the future, near future that is.
Fascinating. I see you are not just a doctor of medicine, but a doctor of words and philosophy.
I do have time to stew upon my thoughts among my patients. There are many times that in the last dying moments of someone's life that the most inspirational quotes, memoirs, poems, just forms of literature emit from them.
There was a time when I was a prison guard in a Bajoran labor camp. A prisoner had escaped, and it was my job to bring them back no matter what. Obviously, he resisted. His last dying breath, he merely looked at me and said, "No." But let us move on. Tell me, have you had any dealings with the Dominion, the aliens from the Gamma Quadrant? What do you make of them?
To what I am privy to, unfortunately, my knowledge is not enough for me to form a solid basis of an opinion with which I am comfortable sharing.
A Cardassian answer.
To be cautious is not to be afraid, but merely to not introduce a false pretense with which one may be contrived with in the matter of assimilating an opinion of someone else.
Why, Doctor, if I didn't know any better, I would say that you are Cardassian. Perhaps you might enjoy a glass of Kanar.
Do tell what this Kana is.
It is a very favoured drink on my home planet. I think you might find it to your tastes.
A very thick drink, too. Hello. I'm Captain, Captain. Commander Anders. Jesus.
Come on,
how's it going here? How's it going here, kind?
Very well. This officer would like us to take in one of his enjoyable drinks. Would you like to join?
I'm never a big fan of Kanar. It's a little too thick for me. But you enjoy. You enjoy. It's quite an experience.
Well, then I guess I must partake in this then. Bartender, 2 Kanor, please.
Did you just say Kanor?
Sorry.
That's a pasta. It's an instant pasta thing.
Which is on sale 10 for 10 at our store right now.
Kanor from the Cardassians.
We've got a new variety. Salty surprise.
I must admit, I do find these Federation vessels and outposts slightly uncomfortable. They're so cool and dry.
Cool as in heartless and dry as in lifeless?
No, I mean that quite literally.
Cardassians do love the heat.
We are from a particularly humid and warm temperature ourselves.
Fair. But at the same time, for us as humans and many species that are amongst our ranks, we prefer to have a, how should you say, less temperate climate, more stable for the vast majority of people that we serve alongside with. As if I were in your outpost, I am sure that it is more befitting to your climate.
I suppose it is the weakness of coming from a multi-species organization, such as the Federation.
Well, if it were to make you more comfortable, I'm sure we can arrange for your quarters to be more climatized to your natural environment.
We won't be staying. We will be returning to the Sindrel fairly soon, I imagine.
A shame. It's a fine vessel that we are aboard.
It is far too sterile for my aesthetic pleasures.
Drinks have arrived.
Meanwhile, Guljarek approaches Captain Talor. after having mingled with other members of the gathered crew. Captain, we would dearly appreciate the opportunity to return your hospitality and have your bridge crew tour our ship. I insist. Would you be so pleased to accompany us at this moment?
I have accepted your hospitality and at your own convenience.
Then come, let us take to the Sindrel.
So coming with me, just the bridge crew?
Senior staff.
Okay.
I grab
Invisible Pro
Kind
2.
by his elbow while he's trying to drink his Canar.
Didn't tell me it was this thick.
So I cut this with a knife.
You.
I've had thicker things before.
Oh, man. Alright, so we all proceed to the transporter room, I'm guessing?
Yep. The bridge crew are transported over to the Sindrel. The crew materialise on the transporter pad of the Cardassian ship, alongside the Cardassian bridge crew. Gull Direct dismisses his crewmates sternly to their positions, and they all quietly exit. The Gull turns to the crew of the Pendragon. Welcome to the Sindrel. Repairs are being effected efficiently, and with the ship of your staff, and with the help of your Starfleet miracle workers, I'm sure that the Sindrel will be back to 100% soon. Come, let us begin the tour. I suggest we start in engineering, so that we can see the progress of the repairs and be underway as soon as possible. Does this sound agreeable to you, Captain Talor?
Very well. Lead on.
Do you want to know what I've written in my notes here?
Nothing.
The coterie are escorted through the narrow and I mean away team. The away team are escorted through the narrow and comparatively warm corridors of the Cardassian ship. The away team take note of how few crew members they see on their way, probably a testament to the Cardassian sense of duty. Eventually they are escorted to the engineering section entrance. Guldrek stops by the door and turns to Captain Talor and the away team. Captain, this is our engineering section. I feel I should apologize in advance. Due to the ambush from the Marquis, the crew are busy with repairs, so please excuse the mess. Anyway, Captain, off to you and your gallant crew. The Gull
I
takes
go
a step.
into engineering.
The Gull takes a step back and gestures for the away team to enter the engineering section.
I sort of step aside and speak to Guldurek.
Okay.
I'm curious as to how the battle progressed before we arrived. I'm a little surprised that a Kelvin-class ship was disabled by even 5 Maquis raiders.
I understand where your confusion lies. The Calden class and the Gaylor class are extremely similar to those with an untrained eye, but I can assure you that this is a Gaylor class vessel. We were taken by surprise and pulled out of warp. We barely had enough time to put our shields up before we were struck. Unfortunately for us, they were able to get a few sneak attacks on our weapons array, disabling us. It was then that you found us.
That was what I suspected. It's a fine ship.
Thank you, Commander. Please, after you.
I look around in interest at the engineering section.
The Gull takes a step back, and as the away team enter, after the last member of the team enters into the section, heavy doors hiss close behind them, and a whirring noise fills the room, as the mirage before them fades away and reveals black, thick walls. They turn around and find themselves in a brig. Standing on the other side of the energy bars is a smiling Gull Jarek. Captain, Captain, Captain. You Starfleet officers are so easy to dupe with your protocols. You shall remain here and be taken to one of our colonies where we shall interrogate you for any useful information, and then either dispose of you or trade you for any other captured freedom fighters. If you are very unlucky, we may just give you over to the Klingons.
You do realize that the Pendragon will not allow you to leave with us on board.
The Pendragon is, of course, currently in pursuit, but we will lose them once we enter the Badlands.
Mm. Okay.
Am I still holding my drink, by the way?
Only if you've been clutching it since going from 10 forward to the transporter room, transport it over and put it in there. But that is possible for your character.
I'm just curious. I mean, I'm still holding
I think
it.
the answer to that question is yes.
Yeah. Kanar, Cordrazine, it's all good.
Goldrack, what is the
You know you don't have to refer to me as Gull Jarek. When we captured this vessel en route, we slaughtered the crew and were surgically altered to be able to dupe you into getting through Cardassian space. You are prisoners of the Marquis.
Intriguing.
When we get to the
I didn't know
Badlands... Sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
When we get to the Badlands, you'll be questioned about Velox Prime and Quattle Prime. Should you provide valuable information, you may be traded. If you provide non-valuable information, we will just give you to the Klingons. We're currently forming a deal to get 30 Class 4 cloaking devices from them, and you would be a great bonus to that deal.
You would betray your entire species?
You seem to be under a misunderstanding. You are prisoners of the Marquis, not the Cardassians.
Yes, the Maquis are Federation citizens.
The Marquis denounced their Federation citizenship when they decided to stay in Cardassian space on Cardassian planets. Why am I pretending I'm a Cardassian? I'm not a Cardassian, I'm a Marquis at the moment. Jesus, you confused me! In real life! You and your fucking legal games!
Ah.
Are we just
Captain-
amidst one person
Captain?
at the moment?
Yeah.
Do you have any idea what exactly we should do in this situation?
I
I
suggest
don't
you get
believe they
comfortable.
understand the force that will come upon them if they don't hand us over. We dispatched your 5 small ships with quiet precision. Can do so with the next ones.
You seem to be under a misunderstanding here. We allowed you to think you dispatched those ships with ease. It was all part of our great plan to lure you into a false sense of security so that we might get you here.
That does seem like exactly the thing you would say if you had lost a battle very decidedly.
Who is the one in the brig?
Oh, we might be in the brig, but I don't think it's going to be for long.
You have enough time to get comfortable before we get to the Badlands.
To say we didn't know all along and we allowed ourselves to be captured.
If that makes you feel better.
Does it make you feel better?
Standing on this side of the bars, yes.
Or two. Any chance you can bend the bars?
The bars of energy.
Yes. He's
I'm
an
sorry.
energy bender.
My system's just finished rebooting. Where are we and why?
Unfortunately, we were just taken prisoner by the Maquis aboard the Galar-class ship named the Sindrel.
Oh, that's rather unfortunate.
Agreed. Do you have any thoughts on how we might be able to disable this energy bar field?
I assume we've been uh, relieved of our tricorders and such.
Actually, they didn't do that, so no.
Um,
We probably wouldn't have weapons,
energy
though.
bar.
Generally, diplomatic missions, they don't have weapons.
You've got your wits, tricorders, and an empty glass of Canar.
You finished the Canar kind?
There's still a little bit left. I was savoring it.
Couldn't get out of the glass, eh? Too thick.
I'd because I don't know the limitations of a tricorder. Would I be able to? Actually, yeah. I wanna scan the frequency of the light that is creating these bars.
I'm on the save page as you, but
Mm-hmm.
Do
Is he
control.
still watching, or did
No,
the
he
Marquis
walked
walk
off when
away?
you started talking to yourselves rather than him. Do control science, please. Complication range of 3.
If
can I assist?
How are you assisting?
if yeah, go ahead.
How am I
Mr.
assisting?
Case.
Well, of course, I'd be utilizing my tricorder in a parallel configuration to therefore boost the frequency with which the signatures are encapsulated within the tricorder in order to deliver a better result.
Love it, you didn't even use the technobabble button. You can do control science with a task roll of 1 and a complication range of 3.
Because these are machines, like the machines are making this laser, could I argue engineering instead of science?
No, because you want to look for a specific frequency.
Okay,
Engineering is
that's
a bit more Engineering would be a bit more hands-on diagnostic type things. Science would
Gotcha.
be, I'd say this is more of a researchy type dealy.
Yeah, okay.
Hey!
Oh, not too bad.
Lovely. You successfully are able to find the frequency that the energy bars are operating on.
Now we just need to figure out how to produce
The opposite frequency, I think.
the opposite frequency, because they would cancel out.
The
Since
tricorder
when-
should be able. Tricorder should be able to do that if it's modified.
Yeah, if we modulate the pulse frequency with which the tricorder is able to emit the data that's from it, therefore, then we can triangulate the necessary weak points within the energy field, as the energy field is not necessarily a precise amount dispersed throughout the entire field. Therefore, we're able to focus our tricorders in such a configuration that it will create a temporary lapse in the energy field. Momentarily, but enough for at least one of us to get through and then hack the control panel and turn off the energy field.
Oh, so you want to reverse the phased quantum polarizing relay?
And then when you're out, you can actuate the nonlinear nucleonic displacement coil.
Well, you have to get out of the cell first to do that from the outside.
I gotta say, it's better than faking an injury and calling the guard over.
I was thinking more like putting Pro 2 over my head and walking through, and he can shield the beams as I go through.
What, so you could amplify the auxiliary baryon reaction array? Using his
Yes.
head.
Data did it once.
Yep. All right, what do you want us to roll to do this, Mr. Shiver?
I've got no idea what you said, so go for control and engineering. Complication range of 3.
I guess-
Task roll 2.
I guess that was Kind who made that
I
call?
like to argue on my part as far as assisting. I'd like to argue science due to the fact of the technical parameters which are required.
Then do control and science, complication range of 3, task roll 2. Would anyone care to assist?
I will assist by intensifying the isometric spatial flux relay.
I was just
It's
thinking
actually
you
kinda
could do
perfect.
exactly that.
Right?
Control, science, complication range of 3, task roll 1.
Can I wait for him to roll before I? Oh, you're gonna want to reroll.
Yep, reroll. No, that's better than what I. Oh, I can't reroll again, can I? How many successes do we need? 2?
3.
Yeah.
No, it's complication range is 3. Okay.
Complication range was 3, difficulty was 3.
Ugh, gross.
I try not to tell you the difficulty until you either succeed or fail, and in this instance, you are unable to intensify the isometric spatial flux relay. In fact, you
Damn it.
de-intensified the oscimetric, compressed, stationary junction.
And I walk over to Kind's tricorder, give it a smack, and then tell him to scan again.
Yeah. After
Let's try
performing
that again.
concussive maintenance, control,
Yep.
science, complication range of 3, task roll 2.
Ever since our engineer left, things have been falling apart.
It's okay, Captain. I found out that one of my files was configured incorrectly, and I'm actually a wonderful engineer.
It's amazing what you can do when you defrag yourself.
Mm-hmm. Ah, man, I wish I could do that in real life. Since it seems like they're having difficulties, can I try it, but from the engineering standpoint?
Yeah, alright. I mean, I should give you disadvantage because you said standpoint.
Also, does this count as tinkering?
Yes.
Yes.
Sweet.
Control,
Sweet.
engineering, complication range of 3, task roll 2. Lieutenant Kind, control, science, task roll 1, complication range 3.
Better be a 2.
Oh, it's better than a 0.
Can he re-roll one of his dice?
Yeah, I'm gonna. Can I
Yeah.
use 1 momentum to reroll the 0?
There
There
you
we
go.
go.
It's been so long, I've forgotten what the fuck you were trying to do. You
Trying to figure out the frequency to interrupt the bars.
You managed to successfully modulate the multiphasic nucleonic gradient manifold operating within the energy bars for something that gives you something to do that I can't remember you were doing.
You were trying to
essentially just
interrupt the
trying to-
frequency for
yeah.
the...
Cancel the bars out for a second so we can.
Alright,
Yes.
one-
bars
It was
flicker out of
momentarily.
life for a brief moment. Who's jumping through?
I did.
Oh, great. The drunk one did.
Lieutenant Kind throws himself through the gap. And then the energy bars reappear, preventing further travel. What are you doing, Lieutenant Kind?
Well, the control panel is, or sorry, the bars are powered by the control panel. That happens to be so neatly by the door. What I'm going to do with my tricorder is I'm going to arrange it in such a fashion that is going to emit a negative energy field with which will disrupt the electronics and therefore disable the barrier.
So you're going to electrocute it.
Essentially, if you want to say it as simple terms as that.
Imp.
Control, science, complication range of 2, task roll 2.
Ah, job.
Lieutenant Kind messes with his tricorder, and gets it to emit a certain frequency. Moments later, the energy bars phase in and out, and eventually dissipate completely.
Okay. Captain, what would be our next best course of action? We've gotten out, but now we need to figure out how to get off the ship.
So we have tricorders, no communicators.
You have communicators.
But I'm assuming they're jamming our communicator.
We
You haven't
don't know
tried it?
that. I try to hail the Pendragon.
Uh-oh.
How did birds get in here?
Oh, I can't find the damn button. God damn it.
They must be the Maquis sparrows.
Thank you. You are able to reach the Pendragon, though the signal is quite distorted.
I'm shocked. U.S.S. Pendragon, this is Captain Tulor. Do you copy?
Captain Law! It's Folon!
Oh dear.
We've been so worried about you. We have been in pursuit of you since the Sindrel about faced and headed straight back towards Cardassian space. I had a wife that did something similar to that. She was
Hold
my
on,
fourth.
please, listen, please. We've been taken hostage by Maquis aboard the Sindrel. They were posing as Cardassians and have taken us prisoner. We need to find additional assistance. They are taking us back to the Badlands, so you must try and retrieve us or send additional help before we get there.
We can try, Captain. But in this sector of space, most starships are tied up battling Klingons. We're also unable to perform perform a transport at warp. Although posing as Cardassians, my fifth wife and I, that was one of the
call in
games
the Task Force Camelot.
We can certainly try, Captain, but I'm unsure whether or not they'll be able to respond in time.
The best we have at this point, unless you can think of a solution.
Have you tried dressing up as Cardassians? No, that wouldn't work, would it? I'll keep thinking.
Are you able to slow the ship if you can bring it out of warp? That would give us additional time.
The only thing we might be able to do would be to fire upon it in warp, but then we run the risk of damaging the ship and yourselves aboard it.
I do believe you need to damage the ship to slow it down. Just make sure your target is precise.
At warp, that would be an incredibly difficult task, and our security officer is currently on their lunch break. Sorry, our tactical officer is currently on their lunch break.
I
Perhaps,
do believe this supersedes his lunch break. Bring him back.
Well, I can try, but have you ever tried to argue with an angry Nausicaan?
Perhaps it'd be wise to tell the tactical officer that if he wants to enjoy a future lunch, it might be best served that he help, or else it'll be served from behind bars.
You can tell him this is an order, not a request. He's part of Starfleet, and there is a chain of command. Nausicaan or not.
Oh, he's not Nausicaan. She's Andorian, but temper of a Nausicaan.
By the
You
way,
just said Nausicaan.
the ship we're on, do we exceed their warp capacity, or are they able to match our technology?
I believe the Pendragon can actually go slightly faster than the Gaylord class.
Doesn't really help us right now, though.
Is it absolutely bizarre to think that we could get along broadside, use a tractor beam, and effectively pull them out of warp?
Not
Can't
in
use tractor beam at warp.
no, not in warp.
You would end up
Well,
destroying
broadside.
both vessels. But I like the thinking. I do love the thinking there.
Technically, Scotty did do a trans warp.
I don't know if that's in this timeline or not, though.
That is not in this timeline.
Is it in timeline where we're able to catch up with another ship in its warp, though?
No, was it before this? I can't remember.
It was from a completely different canon of Star Trek, so we don't count it.
Oh. Wow. Dash my hopes.
But theoretically,
in our
we
canon
can
of
catch
Star
up.
Trek, Khan was played by someone of the right and correct racial appearance, not Blumberland Cucumber Patch.
But it is possible for us to catch up with them within warp and fire, is it not?
Yes. I wouldn't recommend ever firing torpedoes at warp, though.
You don't need torpedoes. You just need phasers.
Can't fire phasers
I
at
feel
warp.
like
Is that what they were in the movie? I thought that was phasers they were firing.
Which movie?
Right, never mind.
Now you know why I hate that set of movies, because it's like, can't do that. Can't do that. Can't do that. Let's just
But it was in a
throw this stuff
movie.
out.
It was just in a movie. Wait a minute.
I mean, it makes
Is it-
sense. Warp is going past the speed of light. You can't shoot a light beam faster than the speed of light.
But you
No,
can
but
fire
is it possible to
torpedoes
get ahead?
which have a miniature warp engine. Well, they are fired at warp speed anyway, so...
Yes, but would it be possible to get ahead of them and... No, I'm talking out of my ass here at this point because I don't know if this technology even exists. Basically, essentially setting up a net that when they pass through this net, it'll essentially disable their warp core temporarily, or at least disrupt it to the point where it'll knock them out of warp.
Yes,
I think it is
but you need
more
more than
to
one
do.
ship.
Oh, that's the, whatchamacallit.
Because
Tachyon?
there was something very similar done in Reunification Part 2, where they set up a tachyon detection grid, and all these Romulan warbirds, a fleet of Romulan warbirds were decloaked in warp when they went through it, but you need, because navigation deflected,
Yeah.
literally set up a net. But
Yeah, I
that is
remember
another
that episode.
fantastic idea that would work
We haven't
if there was
watched
more than
that
one of you.
episode yet.
That one? No, we did. We watched that when they had to set up the tachyon net and sort
We
of detect
watched
them whether or not they would pass through.
Reunification Part 1. Part 2 is the
I
second
didn't know
one.
it would decloak them. I just thought that if they passed through this net, it wouldn't decloak them, but you could see them. But okay.
The one in Reunification Part 2 was literally a tachyon detection grid to reveal cloaked vessels. I would have no problem with you setting up some kind of net that could disrupt a warp drive, but there is only one of you.
I'm guessing the only way we're going to have to get around this is we're literally going to have to take
We're
the
going to
risk.
have to stop the ship ourselves. You do know we are in engineering, right?
Oh,
They-
yeah.
Oh, wait, no. That was a...
It's a mirage.
yeah.
It was
That
a
does
clever
not mean-
ruse.
Here's the thing, though. When we first entered the ship, Captain, we had seen how minimal their crew is. What is the likelihood that we're able to pass more or less undetected through the halls?
You don't know that, though.
No. But at the same time, what options do we have? We either take a torpedo from our own ship, or we make a mad dash to engineering and attempt to disable it.
I feel like we should probably do a scan to see what's around us.
Do that. Set up our tricorder to echo, basic form of sonar.
I nominate Protu because he usually does good on this.
Actually, I was going to make that a difficulty 0 task.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to roll for that if you don't want to.
As in a success.
Yeah, you
Well,
can
we
roll
won't
if you
roll
want
then.
some momentum, but you don't have to.
No, because the last time Pro 2 did that, he threw a cat off the boat.
I did what?
Ah, okay, so what's around us?
You will find very, very, very small amount of human and humanoid life signs around you. Probably about 15 in total across the entire ship.
There's only 4 of us.
5 of which are on the bridge.
Am I able to enhance my tricorder scan to pinpoint the location of the nearest person?
Yes. I mean, you wouldn't even need to enhance tricorder flight, he would just tell you.
Do we know which way engineering is?
Yes.
Is said person in the way of getting to engineering?
Yes.
Okay, then.
How many people? Do we know that?
There are 3 people in engineering and 1 in the way.
Take one out, take his weapon.
Sir,
Get a
do you
chance.
have your medical kit on you? Did he bring that with?
Well, remember when I told you, would you like these vials of sedatives just in case we need to use them on the ambassador?
Oh, he did tell you to keep those in your back pocket.
Yep.
Well, and technically the doctor never leaves the ship without a medical kit.
Nope. So we can neutralize them, and we can keep them there.
Because if we can put the first one to sleep, we can deal with the other 3.
Yes, and with the captain and mine, and my superior strength, we could easily subdue the man without particular harm. I'm sorry, are these hostiles? Um, how hostile are these hostiles? I guess that's what I should say.
They're pretty hostile. I wouldn't run into these hostiles at a hostel.
They probably shoot your ass. Oh, we should probably bring Nakar up to speed. We did escape the cell, and we're now just trying to formulate a plan to stop the ship so that we can have the Pendragon engage.
I think
We
there's only
can
like
communicate.
15 people in total
Yes.
on the entire ship.
Yeah, 15
5
people.
of which are on the bridge. 3 are in engineering. 1 is in the way between you and engineering. The rest are all just milling around, separated.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we have to stop the ship so that the Pendragon has a chance to
I feel I should.
disable.
I feel that there is another option that you're not considering, as well.
We can kill everybody on board.
You're not far off, actually.
Oh well,
You're
one of
wanting
the
a-
things we could do. One of the things we could do is just isolate engineering from the life support system and knock them all out. And that's the teen. And that's the teen gas.
Is that what you were thinking?
Not exactly, but yes.
How
Especially
far is-
because we have a doctor.
Well, I was thinking along the lines of just if we can get into engineering and we can activate all the force fields, we can just make sure nobody ends up coming out of their area.
I like the
Mhm.
idea of the life support and temporarily disabling everybody on the ship.
Well, let's do it then.
Is
First,
the
we have
life
to
support?
take out. First, we have to take out this guy between us and engineering, right? Yeah.
Did anyone practice with blow darts in their childhood?
I think we can use the good old technique of distraction, going, "Hey, over here," and then Pro 2. Easy peasy.
Gotta love superhuman speed and strength.
Is that your plan then?
I guess so.
Yes.
The away team leave the brig area, cautiously and quietly walking through the fairly warm decks of the Cardassian ship. They come to a halt 10 feet away from their intended victim, who is around a corner. How would you like to proceed?
Is he
Well,
around the corner facing away from where we come around the corner?
Yeah, you're like there, and he's like,
is
Okay,
his
wait a
back
minute. So there's a corner like this. He's here, and we're like here.
you're in a corridor, he's in around the corner.
We can see him now.
Does anyone have something they can drop so he comes walking this way?
Or we could try the whole help tactic. I know there's in a mythological series, a man named Loki actually had utilized this tactic very well with his brother Thor.
I heard Loki was a dink.
He was, but their help strategy seemed to work quite well in these situations to subduing a poor fellow.
I've
Multiple
never
occasions.
been in a situation.
Could we just give the hypospray with the sedative to Pro 2 and have him tackle the dude?
We can. I'd prefer to wait to administer the sedative until the guy is stable. Unless if Pro 2 can get the guy, subdue him, yes, I will inject him. I just don't want him to make a peep.
You could do it Looney Tunes style and have Pro 2, stick his leg out and go, hooey!
I feel okay.
Hello, soldier boy!
Well, we haven't much time, so Pro 2, tackle him, and I will subdue him, and I will make him go to.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Pro 2, daring security,
Yeah.
please. Complication
Yeah, I was worrying
range
you were gonna say
is 3. Task roll 2.
I will assist because I will be right behind him. Actually, no. Anderson will.
Yeah, that's better. I will
Uh,
assist taking down the. Yeah.
Anderson, fitness. Security.
Oh.
Complication
I've
range.
never had you do
3.
fitness before.
Task roll 1.
Mine was complications 3, right?
Yep. Complication range is 3 for
Okay.
both.
Oh.
Nice.
My goodness.
Oh yes.
Wonderful.
We got away
Commander-
with it.
Commander Anderson and Pro 2 come charging around the corner. Pro 2 easily grapples the man, spinning him round, and the pair are able to inject him with the hyperspray. They gently guide him down to the floor, where he falls unconscious.
Go sleep, go sleep, go sleep, go sleep.
Uh,
How would
All
you like
right.
to proceed?
So we are
Oh, was
half
he armed?
engineering.
Sorry, was he armed?
He has a small equivalent of a Type 1 phaser on him.
Take that off him.
Yeah. All right.
He was
I
hiding
guess
his
we
arms
should-
up his sleeves.
Captain, shall we proceed to engineering?
indeed. Shall we?
Now, narrator, do we have to fight these 3 people in engineering in order to get to the life support system?
It's entirely up to you how you'd like to get to the life support system.
Oh boy.
Is there Jeffrey's tubes that we can?
Well,
Climb
not
to
Jeffrey's
get-
tubes. Maybe Gull Ferrec tubes or something.
Yeah. The equivalent of Jeffrey's tubes that can take us into the engineering kind of
There are
over.
two cut tubes, which as soon as you've gone through one, they stab you in the fucking back.
Well, that sounds dangerous.
There are Garrick
Well,
tubes, which are tailor-made for you.
And also stabbing you in the back from time to time.
There are Merced tubes, which are Ducat
Oh,
tubes with a
God.
different name. And if you get that reference, I fucking love you.
Well, we could make an improvised flashbang.
With what?
Nah!
I could throw the Kanar in the air. We take this Type 1 phaser, we set it to stun. It's therefore going to ricochet off the actual glass itself, and it'll blind the foes temporarily enough for us to charge them and subdue them.
Did you pass your accuracy test?
I'm not the one that's firing. That's an option, not
Oh,
what we're going
boy.
with necessarily.
That's an option.
But I didn't think Shiv expected that.
It didn't. Crazy son of a gun.
Is there a way to access the environmental controls for engineering from outside engineering?
I can't see why not, actually. If we find enough of an actual control panel around, theoretically you're able to access other routes. Or mainframe systems.
Insight engineering, please. Complication range 1, task roll 2.
I'd give that to Pro 2.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. And what's your engineering like, Pro 2?
4.
Yeah, mine's bad too.
4 is good for me.
Yeah, he's
I
4.
thought you said.
Yeah.
I thought you said
No.
poor, not 4.
No,
Oh,
he
no,
said
I
4.
said 4.
What's
Yeah.
the first one?
Insight.
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 Pro 2. Could you please do this task for me with your excellent engineering skill?
I can attempt.
And Commander Anderson, do presence and command. Complication range 1, task roll 2.
I know that this is kind of finding my way through a computer system, but would astronautic engineering focus help?
Well, what
No.
was the complication range?
1.
Well, he beat it with a 3.
Well, complication range isn't the same as difficulty.
Yeah. Complication range means... By default,
well.
complication range is 1. So if you roll a 20, you get a critical failure. It can go all the way down to 15 at complication range 5. So if you roll 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, it would be a critical failure.
Well, Nitro succeeded too, so...
Yeah,
So
we're golden here. We got a bunch of momentum.
You are able to find a computer terminal that is used for the environmental controls specifically for engineering outside. So it's hot as tits in here. Jesus Christ.
That's what we're saying inside this Cardassian ship.
We can get to an access panel right outside of engineering that would let us control stuff? Okay.
It will control the environmentals.
Can we introduce the sedative from Kind's medical kit into the air system for the engineering? Kind, do you want to do the honors?
Absolutely. Don't mind if I...
Would you like to roll for this? You don't have to roll for this.
Well, I mean...
Don't roll, you might screw up.
Thank you for the wise words, Captain. I will take your advice.
Cat and boat, cat and boat, cat and boat.
He injects the vial into the system with which it draws and it imports it into the air circulation system and then imports it into the actual engine.
Moments later, the gas will have subsided away, and the fellows inside engineering will all be unconscious. You are able to proceed inside safely.
All right.
All right, let's get this done so we can get back to our ship.
Wait a minute. I'm gonna hail the Pendragon Can I hit the button without it going haywire?
Yeah. Oh, you're doing it the fancy way. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Pendragon, this is Captain Talor. We are prepared to shut down the engines. Please be prepared to drop out of warp.
Understood, Captain?
Target the engines as soon as everybody is back in normal space.
I walk over to the weapons console and ensure that all the weapons are still offline.
Captain, would it be prudent that at the same time that we disable the engines, that we also do the same technique with which we did to access the engineering bay, but on the ship itself, except keeping the engineering bay outside of the circulation, and therefore subduing the enemies while we actually drop the enemies out of warp, and if we can beam aboard several boarding parties to arrest all of the individuals?
My question is, do you have enough to dissipate throughout the entire ship?
If you don't have enough to dissipate, you can easily, for some fucking reason, change the environmental controls to just emit gas that can kill you, knock you out. That's fine, apparently, in Star Trek.
In Star Trek land, I mean, it happens all the time.
It does. It
Well,
really does.
The heated atmosphere may also help, eh?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, there we go.
mean-
I can change the environmental controls to emit a certain carcinogen that will interfere with their nervous system and therefore cause a...
We are not trying to kill them. We are trying to
I
incapacitate
never
them.
said kill. I said it will subdue them to where they will not realize what is happening until they wake up again.
I feel the Doctor would know what a carcinogen is.
Gives them cancer.
It's a fancy word.
I say a sedative.
How about neurotoxin?
Or I think you're
Deadly
trying to say
neurotoxin.
paralytic.
Yeah, that's
You're trying to say a paralytic.
Catatonic?
Hey, I'm trying very hard. I'm very hard trying not to use the technobabble, okay? I'm trying very hard.
You're doing a very good job of it. I like
Would you
it.
like to
Okay,
emit
anyway.
deadly neurotoxin today on Bring Your Cat to Work Day?
No, I'm good, thank you.
I
So,
think he means a paralytic. So anyway, we shall go with that plan.
Perfect.
But by the way, the first thing before, because I assume you guys are gonna have me shut down the warp engines and whatnot. Before I do that, I'm going to seal us into engineering. So no
Excellent
one else can get
job.
in.
Excellent
Yeah,
job,
that'd be
Pro2.
great. So, to do all this is going to be an extended task. Shut down the engines, emit a diuretic, and so on.
We've arrested all the
No, we
Cardassians.
don't want them to
They
piss
seem to have
themselves.
shit themselves.
Come on.
all right. So, what is required of this extended?
You need to do 15 work and get 3 breakthroughs.
Requirement for us to research.
Let's start off with Pro2. Can you please seal the engineering department?
Yes, sir.
That's a nice and easy one. Yeah, I'll let you just do that for free rather than part of the extended task.
Okay.
Okay.
I feel like, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. I was gonna say, I feel like we should emit the paralytic before we shut the engines off, so they really are none the wiser, but I already just sealed us in here, so.
So they all fall to the deck like jello.
Yeah, I think we should go. Our next step should be the paralytics. So let's, Doctor, do you want to work on distributing the paralytic throughout the environmental system?
Absolutely.
So you're going to make them all diabetic. That is going to be a
What, control medicine?
Yeah.
And I will assist by controlling the actual computer system while he works on the mixture of the paralytic.
Control
I'm
and engineering for you.
I'm going to assist by making sure that all airways and passages are opened up, and the
Except
passage of
for
gas,
engineering.
except for
Except for
engineering.
engine.
So the the
That would be
gas
great.
can make itself around the ship.
Insight
Hey,
and
you guys would
engineering.
be asleep. I wouldn't be.
No, but I'm just saying that would be great if we opened it all up and all of a sudden we all just fall to the deck too.
Oh, why does it
The
smell of
comprehension.
chlorine in it? Oh.
Why does it smell like? Or,
Okay. Lieutenant Kind,
Oh.
complication range of 1, task roll 2. Everyone else that was assisting is complication range of 1, task roll 1.
Okay. That's what I meant to say, and for some reason I strangely wait. Why does it smell like? Oh,
Smells like bunny.
That's fine. I think it's going to be your... What? Glenn... Oh! Lieutenant Kind. Roll 7. Challenge dice, please.
Oh,
Come on, come on, come on.
you can do it. You can do it.
no whammies, no whammies, no whammies.
Yeah!
Hey,
That was a good roll.
That's a bloody good roll. You have successfully dispersed the lactose intolerant gas across the entire ship. The rest of the crew have fallen into unconsciousness.
why does my stomach hurt? I'm going to begin safely powering down the warp and everything.
Perfect. I will assist by controlling the I had it on the tip of my tongue. The fuel mixture.
The intermix
Thank you.
stabilizer?
Yeah. I will stabilize. I will actually keep the intermix ratio stable as we power down the engines, so the ship doesn't blow up.
Pro 2. Insight. Engineering. Complication range of 1. Task roll 2. Commander Anderson. Control.
Science.
Control and science. Complication range of 1.
I
Task roll
assisted-
1.
Can I assist as well?
How?
Yes.
Well, I feel like during this time it's a stressful endeavor with which they're making sure that they safely shut down the engine. So I'd like to be beside both of them and just gently patting them on the shoulder going, "You're doing a good job."
Presence. Medicine. Task roll 1.
Can I?
Complication range 1. Yes, you may reroll.
I had that already
Yes,
pre-picked.
thank you.
How many?
Just one.
Just
That's better.
Ugh. Did we make it with 2?
Nope, because Nitro didn't get any successes, so none of your assists count.
Oh.
Well, you could. Can he still re-roll the other dice?
He can.
Yeah,
Yeah,
momentum.
'cause I'll spend the last 2.
Yeah.
There we go.
2, 3. Wonderful. And Ensign Pro 2, please roll 6 challenge dice for me, please.
Go big.
Six.
Again?
Oh, that is
Oh.
that's not right.
I typed
roll
in
1.
6. But
Yeah,
I guess I need to click
the
outside
sheets
the
are a bit
okay.
balked when it comes to challenge dice. 2,
There we go.
4,
not bad.
6, 7. With the 2 zeros that are criticals on there, we're going to reduce that to 5.
Okay.
And you have successfully brought the Sindrel out of warp, with the crew unconscious. The Pendragon pulls up alongside the ship. What would you like to do now?
The shields,
actually
are they up?
We gotta
No.
lower the shields.
No, shields down.
Oh,
and even
you
if the
can't
shields
have
were
shields in warp, right?
up,
Yeah, you can.
yeah, you can. Yeah, I think you need them. In fact, in case of stellar debris,
Mhm.
the navigation deflector can't deal with.
Um,
So the shields are down then?
Yeah, and even if they were up, it would just, at this point, it would be a simple matter of just pressing a button for you, so it wouldn't be an issue.
Am I able to get the Pendragon to transport all of the unconscious Maquis into
Yep,
a
Rick.
holding area? Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
something. Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that's. Never mind.
That's a good sound effect.
Spent too much
Do
time on
we-
these sound effects.
Do we beam ourselves aboard now?
Well, the question is, what do we do with this ship?
I think we keep it.
I think we tow it back to an outpost or a station, and
Back to Starbase 11, and then return it to the Cardassians in a good faith gesture.
Yep.
Might be more prudent and swifter to alert Starfleet Command to the presence of the ship rather than having to tow it back at sublight speed to Starbase 11.
You can tow it warp.
No? Don't think you can.
They did it at least once.
As the
pretty sure
ship
you can't.
behind follows in a riptide.
I'm pretty sure you can't, because in the episode where that I can't remember the name of, which is going to be rare for me, where the Ferengi give the Stargazer back to the Enterprise, they have to go at sublight speeds.
well, we'll just alert Starfleet, and they will take care of that.
The first Federation vessel, Fesarius, was capable of towing a Constitution-class vessel at high warp for prolonged periods without stressing the hull.
Which canon is that?
That's the original
Constitution?
series.
Well,
Yeah, no, I know it doesn't really count. No, I'm just being silly.
I like it.
Yeah, that's probably better to just alert the Starship or Starfleet Command, and then they can tell the Cardassians to come get their damn ship.
I will have full-on beam aboard a substitute crew to keep an eye on the ship and beam us back. And Commander Anderson, if you could please touch base with Starfleet to have them arrange pickup for the Syndrel.
I just walk right over to the communications panel in the Syndrel and send out a subspace channel to Starbase 11.
Can you get a secure channel from the Syndrel, though?
Probably not, but I guess
Okay.
my key might be listening. You should actually, yeah, you probably could. Yeah, because I would know the frequency. So yeah, open a secure channel to Starbase 11 using the communications panel.
You will get through to Starbase 11, absolutely no problem. Starbase 11 here, how may I direct your call?
May I speak with the commanding officer, please?
Ship acquisitions, please.
Patching you through now, sir. And moments later, Fleet Captain Bathory appears on a small view screen in front of you at the terminal. Commander Anderson.
Fleet Commander.
Fleet Captain.
Things
I didn't
went
spend 3 years in Fleet Captain school to be called Fleet Commander.
Roger that. Things went a little awry on our mission. It turns out that the Maquis had taken over the ship that we were to rendezvous with. We were briefly captured by the Maquis, but then were able to wrest control of the ship back from them. We have taken all of the Maquis into custody, and we would like you to contact Cardassian High Command to come and retrieve their bloody ship.
Understood. Excellent work, Pendragon crew. We wish to debrief and interrogate the Maquis raiders to find out the fate of the Cardassian crew and the ambassador, more importantly.
Absolutely. We shall deliver them to you as soon as possible.
Excellent work. Head back to Starbase 11. And
Anderson,
you may receive a small subspace communication after this message has been terminated. If you would please rate your service today and give us top marks, we'd be ever so grateful for your feedback.
Click!
When you press
Can't
like
help
2 or
myself.
something like, I'm not interested.
If you fill out a survey, you can get a coupon.
Or
You too could
enter
win
a chance.
3 gold press barred latinum.
Oh my god.
Free drinks at Corks.
All right, so I guess we just beam back to the Pendragon and then set course for Starbase 11.
Sounds good to me.
Do we have to stay in, like, because we're beaming a substitute crew over?
You already made that order. It's long done. We're
No, but
fast.
do we have to stay here until
Nah.
they pick up the ship? No. Okay.
You'd be fine.
Okay. Back aboard.
Any last minute things anyone wants to do or anyone wants to talk to?
Good job, Kind. Great job, Pro 2. And that was far more successful than I was fearing when we first were captured.
Some pretty good rolls, though.
For you.
Do we have to roll to warp?
No.
Mm-mm.
The bridge crew.
Pro 2,
of the
please take us
Pendragon.
back to Starbase 11.
Right away, Commander.
Bridge crew of the Pendragon proceed on their way, playing a game of poker on the bridge.
On the bridge? Wow.
On the bridge.
On the bridge.
I do
Then
not
you're not-
understand. Why is it called a full house? It does not have a house.
Very good question. I'm not really sure of the origin of that term.
I think it came from a television show way back in the 20th century.
The Waltons.
Night, Jim Bob.
And we shall call it an end to the Pendragon's escapades for another month. Thank you all
That was
for
a
coming.
lot of fun.
Thank you all for coming. Thank you for playing. Commander Anderson, who are you? Hollywood star Commander Anderson, who are you? What do you know? Do you know things? Let's find out. Where can we find you?
Why? I'm not going to break character. I'm Commander Anderson. You can find me aboard the Pendragon. No, seriously. I'm Nakara. You can find me on Discord, on the Relay Discord specifically, Nakara, and many other places on Discord. You can find me on Twitter at Nakara, and come watch our show tomorrow, Relay Station.
And in his spare
Chipper
time,
might
he
join
likes
us.
to make balloon animals and draw calligraphy.
I guess I now have to do balloon animals and calligraphy. All right.
Just get one of those long balloons. Sausage dog. Whale.
With no feet.
Worm. Snake.
Flower stem.
Legless
Captain
lizard.
Salor.
Legless lizard.
You win that one. Captain Zalor, who are you? What do you know? Do you know things? Let's find out.
I know things, just not this week.
Where can we find you?
I'm on the Relay Discord or just Discord itself under Stormy Winters,
Excellent.
and sometimes prowl Twitter, but not that often anymore. The trash heap.
Lieutenant
the
Kind,
truth.
who are you? Do you know things? What do you know? Let's find out.
Well, I am Canadian Syrup, and as I had spoken before, I do run a ring filled with beavers and cobra chickens. I do have a preview of an upcoming match. These two individuals I had in the other day. I posted a link of what you could expect to see in the near future in the chat. So please take a look. We're hoping to have a match next Wednesday. I don't know how our contestants will appear. Hopefully they appear properly. Other than that, you could find me on Discord as you normally will, and possibly drinking maple syrup right from the bottle.
Why is he addressed
Did you say
Danger
puddle?
Cock?
What?
Why is he addressed Danger Cock?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to know.
Last but not least, in any way, shape, or form, Ensign Protu, who are you? Do you know things? What do you know? Let's find out.
Well, I spend a lot of time in the Jeffries tubes going between different parts of the ship to make sure that everything is working quite properly. You can find me very often at engineering. No, I'm not to type at. I'm everywhere at night to type at. I'm playing D&D tomorrow. I'm playing Transformers on Monday. I'm playing VTM on Wednesday. That's where I'm at.
He's always
Awesome.
on Table of Horrors.
Yeah.
And he does fantastic work for us as... Well, I mean, you used to be just community manager, but now it's a whole lot more, but yeah.
I run the Twitter. That's me.
Run to Twitter,
And
organises
Shiver.
a Discard. I don't count. I don't do things. I'm just
You
here.
do count. You did all this work. We just limped
Mhm.
through it.
Yeah, you'll only find me here. I don't do anything else.
It's important.
We can't go until... Nakara says a line. That was a really tough choice this week.
Says the line.
Yes. What's the final thought of the game and stream?
Harder.
That's what you said.
Don't eat yellow snow.
So, final thought for this game. Don't screw with a half-board captain.
And we'll go raiding on Ken Daddy.